Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Urban Hermit Podcast. Cameron Jones here, along with my co-host,
Mark Nussle.
Jordan Jones. Got a little bit of a cold.
That's okay. You sounded worse the other day. You're sounding better.
Well,
Yeah.
he's leaning into it. You sniffled when you didn't need a sniffle.
No, if I was...
He was tiny. He was
calling
tiny
off-
timming a little bit, just like.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly right.
That's what I.
We can all
refer to as.
agree, Tiny Tim's not getting saved no matter how rich you are. You can't undo...
No, money doesn't help
Whatever a blood
tuberculosis in
cough
like
is, yeah.
1850s London. No, you're just
We'll
screwed.
buy you a new Tiny Tim. I can sweep you up a street urchin, but I can't save this Tiny Tim.
No, not
We
that
can
one.
replace Tiny Tim. All right, anyway, what do you guys got going on?
Just question for you guys. I was thinking about this earlier. I've never had a successful one in my life, but how do you guys feel about surprise parties? For them, against them?
Interesting question.
I'm trying to think. Oh, we've surprised our parents once, and it went successful.
Yeah, they love it. It's always
They
great
loved it.
to surprise your parents with essentially your kids are here and you didn't think they were, but birthdays, specifically birthdays.
I don't think I've ever had a surprise done upon me. Mm-hmm. I'd be okay with it. I never want to plan a surprise, just for all the expectations that I'm going to fail on.
Sure. Yeah. In fact, I'm currently a best man and I'm theoretically in charge of a bachelor party once again, but
Yeah, but it's not a surprise bachelor party. It's not like you're...
No, but as you know from me being your best man.
That would be funny. A surprise.
surprise.
how
Get in the van, we're getting out of here, let's go. Like old school. That'd
You're
be
getting married.
But as you know from your bachelor party, I planned virtually nothing. You told me what was happening, and I just gave you money.
I just figured you wouldn't be able to handle it.
No,
so
and
I
I still can't, which is the problem.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I have that.
I feel
out.
like I'm one to sniff it out.
What, a surprise party?
A surprise. Just a surprise in general.
Mark, we need you here at this time.
Which ruins the whole thing, right? Like I ruin the whole thing.
So I've done two surprises.
Mm-hmm.
One was like for Valentine's Day. I did a bait and switch. I took Megan to...
What did you do?
I took her to Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
Okay.
And it was like a one-man show. It was super dated and it was lame, and she really dislikes one-man shows. But then the next night, I got a hotel room at the Palmer House, and then we went to the Symphony, which was fun.
Oh yeah, that's way better. Jordan, I did something similar where I told my wife, "It's like, hey."
And then I got engaged, but that's tougher to like
And then I
really shock
proposed.
someone.
What?
And then I proposed. But that one's harder because it's like, hey, get in the car, we're gonna go somewhere. You know what I mean?
Now, Jordan, you at least still picked like an off-Broadway show. I told my wife, like, hey, do you want to see an off-Broadway in Chicago, like musical? And then I found that the only things I could afford were a magic show that was touring through at the time. So that's what we did.
How was it? I've never been to a magic show. I want to.
Honestly, we saw the water torture thing of someone in a tank. We saw like a bunch of people from AGT, America's Got Talent. Essentially, like all those people that didn't make it are touring.
We know AGT. We know AGT.
Oh yeah. Essentially, the people that didn't make it are now touring together as part of like a failures of the country magic tour. But it's great. It's good.
Hey, but they're on tour. Not to one up you, Mark. You've seen David Copperfield, right?
Oh wow, you've seen real magic.
Haven't you?
In Vegas, yeah.
Oh, geez, there you go.
Oh,
There you go.
wait, time out. Have you seen Penn and Teller as well?
I've seen Penn and Teller
Oh,
at Vegas.
wow.
Jesus,
as
What,
well.
what else is there to see? You know,
You're just Chris whatever mind freak, and then the other one you've got like the
Chris Angel. Funny.
So I don't believe
Sorry,
I don't
Christina.
believe in magic, but I
well, Mark, I don't think anyone does. I think it's just a stage
Okay.
show. Like I
Yep.
don't. You know.
that might be right. That might be right.
I think Megan
Megan
saw
believes in
David
magic.
Copperfield.
Oh, okay.
No, she believes in magicians.
I was about to say
you
your
know.
wife's so smart
As a-
and knows math, and she's dumb and believes in magic.
Well, she does know math, but she also believes in sorcery and magic, which I think are two different things, right? Witchcraft is just a bunch
Yeah,
of...
right. It's black magic.
Well, she's Catholic. I feel like magic
I
falls a
don't
little
really
closer
read
into that form of Christianity based off my very limited experience.
They both wear robes. I know that much. A whole lot of robe wear.
I wear a lot of
Oh,
robes.
I can tell you when we got surprised growing up.
Sure.
This is a shout out to
Don't
Heavily
bring up
our
the
li-
Schwans, man. Don't bring up the Schwans.
no our heavy listeners base will get this, and if you didn't grow up with us, whatever. Cameron and I were told we were going to go ice skating. We brought up this story, and then bam!
this is at least-
we're going to Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
This is at least-
which is a weird surprise. It's like
This is
okay,
my favorite story.
This is at
My
least the
favorite
third
Jones
time
story.
this has come up on the podcast, but worth repeating. So essentially, our parents told us that me and Jordan were going ice skating for the first time in our life. And for some reason, little elementary me, middle school chubby Jordan, both of us were chubby, not to single you out.
Oh yeah, Jesus! Like the throw,
both
whole lot of husky section going on in that portion of the van. But yeah,
Husky is
go
tough.
ahead.
Both of us were husky.
Yeah.
But for some reason, our parents were like, let's get them hyped up and be like, hey, we're going ice skating, but switcheroo. We're going to see a national production of Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, not with Donny Osmond, just whoever, you know.
No, like the touring company.
Yeah, the touring company.
Not Broadway.
Jesus number 2.
Now, in retrospect, great musical. It was a good
Great
time.
musical.
But when
Good
you
songs.
But when you think you're going ice skating for the first time ever, and then it's robbed from you, taken right out from under you.
It was a weird letdown.
Yeah, it was very
It was a weird letdown.
Osmond? Danny Osmond?
Donnie.
Danny Osmond's a stunt double. Yeah.
No, there's so many of
does
those
all
Mormon
the-
kids. I'm sure there's a Danny in there too that we don't know about. You just can't
There's
sing
like
as well.
12 Osmonds. That's correct.
There could be.
We should have sniffed it out though, because I don't know much about ice skating, but I don't know.
We don't know.
You don't have to.
We know nothing.
we
That
know
doesn't
even less.
surprise me for some
But
reason.
like, if Mark, if you were going ice skating, would you wear pleated khakis or turtleneck under a sweater?
Not a chance.
No, wouldn't do it.
Wouldn't do it.
We were dressed
Couldn't
pretty
fit in.
fancy for ice skating.
just a tip before I got my biting question I want to get to.
Sure.
What's your takes? Intermission, love it. Are you trying to get a snack?
You have to.
What's your go-to?
What do you mean?
You get a little coffee cake?
Okay, if you-
intermission at a play.
If you're seeing a play, if you're seeing something
Soft
artsy,
pretzel?
No, a soft pretzel.
Why not?
That's a
I think
sporting
that's
event.
fine.
That's a sporting event.
You're right. He's right.
What you're getting is something very dark chocolatey, very rich. You're getting
Rich.
Yeah, you're getting something richer than you.
No,
you
he's
normally
right.
would.
Cameron's right.
I'm getting coffee cake.
Yeah. Anytime I've ever been to any sort
If
of
I can. Something like
Yes.
that.
Any-
A little treat for myself.
any sort of play auditorium, it's always been a cheesecake, something
dark
very
chocolate.
fudgy,
Yeah.
something very rich.
Oh, I'm not talking.
That's
I'm not talking
crazy.
about a school play. I'm talking about the real deal at theater.
yeah.
Cameron.
That's why I'm telling you, I'm getting the real deal dessert. I'm not fucking around. You know.
As an adult, I've been tricked into, I can drink now, so I get an alcoholic beverage, but I really just want a coffee and a pound cake.
Sure. You want to? Interestingly, I've been craving
Coffee and a
like
pound cake.
I've been craving like a mudslide or something really chocolatey or like a Bailey, something that's not going to get me drunk, but is definitely going to upset my stomach.
So here's the deal.
An espresso martini.
Yeah, something like that.
No, that's a real drink. A mudslide is just a milkshake with rum in it. Just take the rum out. Have yourself a nice molten milkshake, Cameron.
I did.
Don't
I
let
got
the
some.
rum
I got
ruin
some
it.
chocolate milk from the grocery store.
Don't let the rum ruin it.
Hey, fun fact for you guys, little secret. I just use chocolate milk as my creamer now. It's the milk, it has a little sugar in it. You just need
He can't do that.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
You only need
No, he
a
can't.
touch more sugar, and then it's
Yes, I can.
perfect.
Yes, I can.
I hope that your doctor hears this and is like, this is why you're losing your feet.
Oh God, I'm terrified. Actually,
Like you can't substitute milk. You can't substitute chocolate milk for anything.
He said you're doing
but
what?
for heavy cream, I have to be taking something out of there.
Cameron, cream. There's no way you use heavy cream in your coffee. That's how you're losing your feet.
No.
Are you using heavy cream and stuff?
Starbucks,
like whipping
creamer.
cream?
No, but now that you mention it, though, I am pretty terrified. My wife, we haven't been to the doctor, dentist, anything really since like COVID. It's just we moved, we put it off, and now we're finally getting back to making appointments years later. But my wife did like a full checkup, blood work and stuff, and I had my doctor's appointment scheduled for the day after St. Patrick's Day. Or like at least the weekend celebration. So I went to a party, got really drunk, and then woke up. I was like, "Oh my God, no! If I get any blood work done, they're gonna like this is a huge problem."
They're gonna be like, hey, you have liver problems.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to.
I didn't think about it at all. But
Level is 0.23.
yeah, so I canceled my doctor's appointment. I still have not made a new one yet, but I'm still terrified. Still terrified about what he's gonna tell me.
When's the last time you had like a mud cup?
Mud
You know what I
cup.
mean by that?
What's a mud cup? Is that
No.
Should I take my headphones off? Is that dirty?
That's the pudding.
What
that-
Mark's,
it's the
what you're trying to say is like a worm cup. Or they always have
Yes,
like a
worm cup.
or like a grade.
Fourth grade.
Yeah.
Fourth
Yeah.
grade. If you're talking a worm cup,
Cameron
then
knows what I'm
fourth
saying.
grade. Yeah.
Well, I actually
Fourth grade?
Again, this is actually a familiar topic because like last year around October, me and my wife
no.
made those mud cups, but we made them in like regular cups, and it was like 1.5 pounds of pudding, and it was just way too much. Fucked up the portions.
So I'm not familiar with the term mud cup, but this is where it's
Yes,
supposed to
you
look
are.
like dirt.
What do you mean?
Well,
That's what they're
I
called,
heard
right?
the words and I put it together,
Sure,
but I
sure.
started typing it, and you do not want to see the imagery that I found when I typed in mud cup, okay? No, but you're talking about one of those spooky treats,
Yeah,
and then you put like worms
spooky
on it.
treat. Spooky treat.
Okay.
Crushed Oreo pudding in a gummy worm.
Right. But the gummy worms where you get me. I don't think gummy belongs in any ice cream cold treat.
I
It's
think
just
you're
too
right.
fucking
I think
hard.
you're right.
No, it gets chewy, and I even agree.
Love the way it looks.
Well, it gets
Love the
tough.
way it looks. We all like the artistry.
Yeah.
But throw it out of there and enjoy
The
your mud
artistry
cup.
is amazing, right?
Yeah.
It looks
We can
beautiful,
accept
but
it.
once again, even in a lukewarm pudding, that worm is just oddly too tough when you just want
It's too tough.
You want to slip
Yeah.
your pudding and eat your Oreos.
Yeah, I
it's
think
too
you
tough.
guys are right. Yeah.
As I've grown, and I'm sure we brought this up, and this is a rabbit hole we don't have to. Actually,
No,
if we're
take-
going to talk
take-
about
take me down
wormholes, I was just going to say when it comes to a froyo place where you can choose all your toppings, here's a word of advice. You get your base ice cream,
Sure.
Okay.
and I'm even going to say don't even take
let
two
me
flavors.
stop you there real quick.
You get one
Time
base.
out. It is
Well, he's-
absurd
he's
how much
stopping
we've
you.
brought up ice cream and froyo toppings and just.
You know what's even crazier? I never have ice cream. I haven't forever.
That's why are we always talking about it?
Why
Okay,
are we
sorry.
always? Yeah, this we can't.
That's a
stop
good thing. Go
talking
back
about
to
it.
our last 6 episodes, and you already know what I was about to say. I'm going to pivot to a different wormhole,
Sure.
and this is the only thing I
Okay.
brought in with notes. You guys go to an Airbnb.
Yeah.
You can be Cameron. You're probably going to go. You're going to go to a bachelor party. You can put it in that setting. It can be a family setting. It can be like a trip with your spouse or
Sure.
partner.
Where is he going?
I don't know.
Where I'm going with this is you're unloading things. You're like, oh, I got to hang this coat, this jacket up. I'm going to put it in this wardrobe.
Let me stop you there. Never have I ever
Wardrobe.
hung or put anything in any.
Never.
No, I've never unpacked. It stays.
I've never unpacked.
No, I'm not a psycho.
No, I've never unpacked.
I
but let's
want to
say
unpack.
you had to.
No, you
I'd
don't.
love to
do
unpack.
You, do you?
Do you know the real reason
Yes,
you don't?
I do. Like
I'll tell you the real reason I never unpack because I'm like I'll forget all my clothes in that wardrobe.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah,
never.
it's 100%. You're
it's
gonna miss
the Airbnbs now. That's the only reason. Okay, so in this hypothetical,
Sure.
you did unpack because you had to.
Yeah.
There was just something. Just something important you had to put in the wardrobe.
fair.
Or whatever.
Understood.
You're just slooping.
I'm using.
You're searching through.
Sure.
What did he
But
say?
sleuthing, I think, is the word you want.
Sleuthing. You're sleuthing.
Slooping's a.
I don't even know what word I was trying to combine
I
with.
think
it.
slooping is like
Maybe or
tying a
something.
sailor's knot. I think it has to do with sailing.
That's a Boy Scout knot.
Sloop
is
John
what it
B,
is.
something with that. Go
Sloop
on.
John-
Oh, nice. Yeah. Cool.
I don't know what that
I like
means,
song.
but I sang it.
Okay, whatever. You get yourself into the wardrobe. Long question shortened. You reach back there, and then you feel what we believe to be Narnia.
Okay.
In your real life right now,
Sure.
are you going to go back to that wardrobe and see what's in there?
You got to at least see. You got to at least put your head through. Now, am I stepping all the way through? 100% definitely. But that's based off the knowledge of Narnia and knowing that those kids got like 3 lifetimes during World War II while serving. So like, I'm hoping for that aspect, I guess, like that I'll just become a king or a lord or a god of Narnia for like 3 lifetimes. Yeah.
So that whole argument, though, is one, you got to live through like battles in medieval and
Jordan, he's
listen,
about to die in World War II, the oldest brother. I'm pretty sure he doesn't make it to the 3rd book.
No, they're in the countryside. They're fine.
No, I am 100%
Maybe he goes to war.
certain Peter, the oldest brother, dies before making it to
Oh
book
yeah,
3.
he should keep his. Okay, it's not Peter. It's 2024
Sure.
in this scenario.
So it's Russia and China. That's
and
even
before
more
you ask,
terrifying.
before you ask, yeah, maybe it's scary. No, World War II is scarier.
He found a Turkish delight and it was fine. That's all he needed.
Ooh, Mark brings up a good point. Did we all think Turkish Delight was drastically different than what it was when we tried it for the first time?
Yeah,
I
we thought
thought
it
a
was good
Turkish
enough to
delight
trade on your
was-
family.
Protein.
Oh, no.
I get that
Caramely
makes
for
sense.
sure.
I guess that
I was
makes
thinking
sense.
I didn't
Caramel.
think
No,
it was a
it's-
chocolate. I thought it was a protein.
Oh, I always thought
a beef
chocolate.
jerky.
I thought like a powdered chocolate. Jerky.
Oh, did you?
So you thought that he traded on his family for jerky?
Jerky.
He's like, I'll do anything
got a
you
pan of
want.
dried meat?
I'll get them all here for jerky. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, is it so much less crazy that he sold them out for powdered sugar, some sort of jellied fruit, and like
Some whey protein.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, at least it's a sweet. I know in every World War II movie or documentary I see when the soldiers like liberate a town, they're like, here, chocolate. And then everyone's like, I haven't had chocolate. So I get that a little bit. They're never like, here's some jerky, kid.
Okay, hold
Like,
up.
oh,
Question for you,
Jesus.
Jordan. Not to single you out, but I feel like you were a little bit more of a glutton as a child. What would you?
Okay, Jesus.
What would you have sold?
All right, Mark, you might want to put your cans back on for this.
Mark disappeared.
Hey, you stepped aside
Cans are
for a
back
second,
on.
Mark. Can you please rephrase the question, Cameron, again?
Not-
just as you did before.
Not to be offensive, but I think you were a little more gluttonous as a child. And what was something
Like
you
where
would
this
have
is
sold
going.
out the family for? I think
Well, if I'm being honest, like a pulled pork sandwich probably at the
see.
time.
I would have said
And a
Funyuns.
nice loaf of
I
bread.
think you would have sold us out for a bag of Funyuns, a snack size.
Oh no, Funyuns was readily available. Like I could get that on my own. But when I sell you out, yeah, all of you, I'd be like, they're over there. Give me those Funyuns. Let's get out of here, witch.
Okay. Witch.
no.
What? Oh, okay. Narnia. Gotcha.
She's
gotcha.
the witch giving you.
Narnia,
You know, you don't know she's a witch.
I
but
forgot the whole scenario.
You kind
I'm
of know
sorry,
she's
I'm
a witch. Okay, no. Listen, it's just 2024 now.
Okay.
You're actually going in, and I guess for this, we don't think it's a portal to hell. Let's just feel like you hear a whisper that says Narnia, like somewhere, like you get the vibe, like I'm pretty sure this is a Narnia.
If it's
situation.
that type of like whisper, I'm gonna assume it's a little better.
Ooh, you trust the whisper.
Kind of, somewhat. But yeah, I'm just gonna be based off my my readings of literature, fantasy. I'm gonna really hope it works out in my favor. Yeah, I'm gonna just
That's
go
a
in.
big gamble. That's a big gamble.
Jordan, up to 3 lifetimes. You know what I
Yeah, but you gotta be friends with animals. Animal humans. It's
Tumnus.
not like the best. And Cameron, I guess if you're really diving down, this wasn't my goal to talk about Narnia. A bunch
Yes,
of really
it
just be
was.
like,
Yes,
are you gonna
this
go
is
in
the
the
whole thing? Yes, it was.
I just use that as an example because I don't want to go down like a wormhole or something because everybody says no to that, right? That's scary.
Well, worst case scenario, it is just like an Alice in Wonderland thing, and it's a hippy dippy, trippy, like fucked up upside down land, and that's terrible.
that's
terrifying.
scary.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that at all.
No, you don't want to go in Alice in Wonderland, but you're just going into like a magical land of centaurs and in what's Tumnus? He's a goat.
Just
He's a goat.
Oh, Tumnus though. What do we always the Diablo, right? The devil's kind of a goat, half goat, half man.
That's
So
true.
you tell me.
That's true. Well, she does, I believe, like
I'll tell you what. My devil plays the pan flute. That's for sure.
so does Peter Pan.
That's how they. Yeah.
I had a question. I've been seeing a lot of
Oh, just one last thing on Narnia.
please.
You're talking about these 3 lifetimes, like you don't have sex with your siblings. After that, moving on.
Jordan, you could have sex with
There's no other humans.
Jordan, you can have sex with as
There's
many.
no other humans.
Yeah, but there's
Hold the phone.
But there's a million half goat people, Jordan. You can have sex with any of them consensually.
No, I'm saying
consensually.
you're definitely having sex with all the anybody you want. But I'm saying there's only 4 humans that go in, and a bunch more humans that's like, you know what I mean?
Well, Jordan does bring up a point. By the second one, we have a bunch of. Oh no. They explain it. They explain the second one that a bunch of pirates accidentally ended up there.
Do you guys have
Yep, that's an on the nose type thing. It's like what happens in
hold
Narnia.
on. Do you guys have a,
definitely stays in Narnia.
wardrobe?
No.
A wardrobe?
No, I've never actually seen one.
Never seen one.
Although I do have a lot
I'm
of
sure if I
built-in
stare at a bed and
drawers.
breakfast-
Mine would be a built-in drawer that I slip inside. That's barely big enough for my body.
It's a junk drawer.
Got those.
Yeah, it's for
a
your
bunch
it's
of double A
for your-
batteries.
It's for your furs and your Lugers and stuff like that. You know, it's World War II.
You know,
It's that
funny
kind of
enough
stuff.
that you say that though. Like St. Patrick's Day, I went to the South Side Parade.
Hold on, Mark. Are you going in to Narnia
I'd
or
love to.
whatever? Are you're gonna walk back there? Or okay,
So
I'm just
Jordan,
not- I'm not.
you feel a cold breeze from the back of your wardrobe. You're not going to check it out at all. You're just going to close the door.
I'll check it out like 4 steps, but I'm not taking.
Just check
20
it out.
steps.
Like,
I'm not getting to where I know whether or not they have lampposts. I can tell you that much.
Okay.
that's
Okay. So I guess my
That's it.
follow-up question is, what do you do when you take 1.5 steps inside of this snowscape and you're like, shit, there's a world inside my wardrobe? Do you burn the wardrobe? Do you get a scientist? Like, what are you doing?
I tell all you guys, and I try to get a refund on my Airbnb.
Refund? That's
I don't wanna-
that's
I
a
don't wanna be at the
bonus, my
scary
friend.
place.
They were like, hey, it's all like $100 for the night and an extra lifetime of being a lord. You just got to learn some sword play, or you die there.
Yeah, or you die or get
Cameron's
breathed
right there.
on by.
Which I guess a
I
follow-up
don't know.
question: How do you guys think your sword play would be if you had any of these action movies? There's always someone learning real quick and becoming a master, but
I think I'm bad with a sword.
well, here's the thing. I think I'd actually be pretty good with like a Three Musketeers D'Artagnan little sword, but like you get me a battle sword gladiator, I don't know about
Sure.
that. That's a lot.
You know what I would do? I'd be like, hey, Woodland friends, give me about 20 minutes. I'll be right back. And then I'd go get guns and be like, let's light up all these other Woodland friends.
No, that's not fair.
I know.
That's not
There's
fair.
no
That's
coming
not-
in, no coming out. I got you. It's not.
Actually, though, the funny that you bring that up, I've seen a bunch of previews for this, and it kind of looks fun. But it's kind of like the third Evil Dead, where it's a video game where you are suddenly transported into the past with a pickup truck and a shotgun during like a medieval battle.
Ooh, I bet you tear up.
It seems fun. It just seems funny. You just time travel and you see how long you can last. I mean, just on the off chance that I get that second at least life, I'm taking the Narnia. I'm looking for adventure. I see myself as a Gryffindor, despite the heavy lies in looking for it being placed there.
You give Gryffindor
What?
vibes.
Vibes?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, is that bad or is that good?
No, that's great. I've been told I also give off Slytherin vibes, so you know. I think that's a little more telling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People call me a puff, and I just want to
Well, you're a
Avada
puff.
Kedavra with the whole fucking family.
Jordan's a puff.
Well, I pretty much came with my A game. I asked a question. That's all I got. That's all the notes I had.
This is a while ago, but I did go to the DMV like a week and a half ago. Two comments mostly. Number one, it's the most pleasant experience I've ever had at a government facility or the DMV.
That can't be.
And number
Can't
two,
be right.
They were so helpful. Like, you know how you
They're
go in
helpful?
and it's
How?
like kind of up. It's kind of up in the air whether or not you have your documents. Maybe if you're me, right? If you have all the right things there. My wife and I were going in together, so we were sharing documents. They were just very
That can't be correct.
understanding of our situation. But it's also the worst ID photo I've ever taken in my life, to the point where I'm
It's like a
wondering if the
mugshot.
lady was just I'm wondering if the lady was trolling us and fucking with us, because
No, it's like a most wanted shot.
well, she just kept saying, "Okay, chin down, lower, like," and to the fact like my chin is touching my neck, and like
A
I
wry
have
smile.
a double chin.
Well, luckily you only have it for the next 10 years, so you know.
I know. I didn't even need to renew it. I was just.
I had a
finally-
real bad first passport photo. Real bad.
How so? How so?
I mean, I was like 22, and I don't have a face, you know, and just kind of blended in.
You have a face.
I wore like a sweater.
You gotta.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. I didn't have like facial hair, and my haircut was like straight across, and just wasn't my best picture.
Okay. Well,
Having that said, nobody ever stopped me, but like, this isn't you. I'm like, it was. It really was. Everybody believed it.
it's to the point where so far, the very few times I've been carded and taken out, I've had to explain like, "Hey, this is the worst photo I've ever taken in my life." So just know that going ahead. And it's bad. I mean, like, people can't see me at home, but it's that. I look surprised and I have a double chin. Here's how bad it was. She read it twice, and on the second time she said,
Why
"Wow,
are you
doesn't
so
look like you want to hurt."
surprised?
No, she just said, "Doesn't look like you want to hurt people in this one." So that's the first two photos.
Oh, I'm curious
That's
about the
rude.
first one.
Oh, yeah, and that's how
That's
bad the
rude.
third one looks. Still, it's still kind of look. That's why I think that she's.
Well,
kind
here's what's
of fucking
crazy. I
with
feel like
people.
most of the time they just let you do it.
Roll
I
with
can't
it.
remember. Can you smile or not smile? I can't remember what we can do or
Nope.
not
You can't do anything. And did I try to smile with my eyes? 100%. Did it make it worse?
Oh,
kind
that's
of.
not good. You don't want to smile with your eyes.
They got a little bugged. Yeah. Plus the chin down in the double chin. It's a bad look.
I'll go back to your first question though. If you just have the right expectations for the DMV, it's fine. It's going to take an hour to two tops. You get in, you get out, you get your license. If you're there in a rush, that's on you, asshole.
That is on you.
Like that's on you. You got to go in with the amount of time and bring every document you have ever. Like why short it?
Oh.
Why make a second trip?
And we did. That's partly how we got through. They were just like, "Well, we've got this. That doesn't work. We've got this."
I'll keep them coming. I'll give you everything I have.
And we sure did. But it's bad. It's a bad picture. It's up
Oh,
there.
this is a public service announcement. If you don't have TSA pre-check, get it. It's $75 for
talking
like
about?
10 years.
You've been preaching
It's a
this.
very DMV type thing. They do it like
Sure.
I guess if you have a background, don't waste your time. Or don't. If you got a background, just you're not getting checked for it. Let it lie. But if you think you're just a normal person that isn't gonna get like banned from flying or something, get the TSA pre-check.
I want to take off my belt, my shoes.
You want
I
to
do.
take?
Yes.
Yeah, you can do that in the TSA pre-check line. There'll just be nobody in front of you while you do it. And everybody will look like you, like he's a newbie. Don't worry.
Well, Jordan, have you heard about this new service? They're talking about essentially making it like a self-checkout.
Yeah, self-checkout, which is ridiculous.
Self-checkout situation where you can sign up for like a
what do you mean
flight check kind of thing.
Like a Target?
Yep, you take
like
off
a kiosk.
Yeah, you take off your own shoes, take off your own belt, load it up in the situation, and just go through. But I think again, it's like you have to sign up for a subscription. It's not like everyone gets that, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, but here's what's going to be annoying about like that. Let's say it works perfectly to expedite things. Think about this self-checkout line when you make a mistake. You got to wait 20 minutes for somebody to come be like, "Hey, I can't find where the lemons are."
I'm just so happy you brought this up. Yesterday, I went to Home Depot. I thought I paid for everything, but apparently maybe I... apparently maybe I didn't scan everything.
What do you
Self-checkout.
Are you confusing everything with anything?
No. So I think it was a little tiny packet of hinges that I just missed, but I got a lot of little things. I'm walking out the door. The cart suddenly, the wheels lock up and it starts going loud beep.
Did they really do that?
Yeah. The cart locked and I went, oh.
Cameron ran. He's like, I'm out of here.
Yes and no.
He said,
I made a noise. I was like, well, yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. These hinges are mine forever.
No, yeah. I turned around to like the workers. I went like, I just made a noise. Like, did someone need to check me? And like, no one gave a shit or came towards me.
Oh, yeah.
So I just grabbed my bags, abandoned the cart in the middle of the fucking aisle, and just started walking. But here's where the story picks up. Immediately behind me, a father says, "Oh, that guy's just leaving his cart right here. That's a pretty low move. Oh, you must be in a hurry."
He said that to you
Heard him
out
say
loud?
That. He didn't say it to me. He said it very loudly behind me.
Stunning.
But I was scared.
How old do you think the guy was?
50s. But I was scared because they did stop. Like the cart stopped. I totally was stealing something. So I just picked my bags up and walked quickly. So it looked a little fishy. But I was very angry at the man for calling me out for just leaving the cart. But like, what do? You going to wait to get questioned by the Home Depot security?
No, you just give it a left. You give it a right. Yeah. Nobody comes.
Well, which is what I did.
Left, give it a right.
I looked. Meaning, like you look.
Yeah, I looked around both shoulders. I gave it the.
You'd be like, "Hey, does anybody want to attend to this?" Oh, you don't.
No one did.
You're running.
No one did. No,
I'm walking away like I have nothing to do.
It was a fast, embarrassed walk. Somewhat, I will say. I did want to get out of there.
Would you say it looked like you were speed walking or had to go to the bathroom? Did you pick it up that much?
No.
Yes, he did.
But
yes,
like,
he did. Yes, he did.
Faster than my usual slow, easygoing gait. I'll say that much. I heard the beeps.
You're saying like more of a guilty, conscious type walk.
Yeah, but still, that man was wrong to call me out for it.
Crazy.
Fuck him.
What a weird call out.
For like 2 more hours, I was fuming about that guy just calling me out for walking away. God. So mad.
But the good thing is he went home and he told his side of the story.
Yeah.
Like, he was so happy too.
That
he was
low
so
rent.
fucking
Yeah. He's like, and I said,
and I
just leave the cart there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it comes full circle.
Speaking of which, we had our first altercation with the neighbors the other day.
That's not a good word.
Neighbor children, to be specific. I'm on the phone with my wife. She calls me a lot when she's driving home. And she says, "Hey, can you come outside real quick? There's a bunch of kids in the alley."
Oh, shit. Kids.
Oh, which, just on a side note, this is no shade to her or anything.
Sure.
If somebody calls you that you live with when they're driving home, that's selfish. You shouldn't do that. I'm going to see you when you get here. Unload it on me. You can listen to podcasts or call someone you don't live with. That's how I feel. And, some people listen to this. Don't do it.
I don't disagree, but my wife and I talk every night when she comes home. And so she's calling me and she's like, "Hey, can you come out here real quick? There's a bunch of kids in the alley." I come out there quick.
Ooh.
Yeah. I see them across the way. The dogs are barking.
You worried?
So the whole No, because
Like actual kids,
might
like
be
10 or
worried.
like teenagers.
young teenage, mostly it's teenage girls that live next
Jordan,
door, but they did
you might
have
be worried.
They did have boys. It was all genders there, but they scurry from specifically our backyard area, looking in like our alley. So my wife gets out of the car and she's like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?" And they just tried to pull some like, "Oh, it's an alley. We're just walking
She
down
said
it."
that?
To which
That's
my
crazy.
wife, oh yeah, this is almost verbatim. To which my wife says, "I understand how fucking
Nicole
alleys work.
is fucking
You're on my property."
savage for that. That's so fucking funny.
She honestly is. And she's like, "I understand how all these work. What the fuck are you doing on my property?" And then one of the kids quickly tried to make an excuse, and she cut him off and she said, "You guys are fucking weird," and went inside. And I think that's the right call. We haven't talked to their parents, but there's teenagers, and we made them feel self-conscious about whatever they were doing.
Right.
Do you recognize them? Would you recognize
Yeah,
them?
they're literally
they're just your
the
neighbors?
neighbors across the alley from us. It's just they have some teenage kids, and they were all there's always kids in that alley walking around in that backyard. I don't like it. So I was very happy
I don't like
that my wife belittled them last night.
That's what I miss about living in the city, that you don't really have to talk to your neighbors. So now that I have neighbors, I do talk to them. I try to be jovial, but now I'm thinking I'm just going to move to the middle of nowhere. Just have nothing around me. I mean, the consequences are I succumb and die to the nothing around me, but whatever. At least I don't got to talk to anybody.
I'm a suburb guy now. I really
you are.
appreciate though that
You're a suburb. Yeah. We're no longer, Mark's the only urban
Yeah,
man.
you're the only city guy.
That's true.
I really appreciate though that none of my neighbors seem like they want anything to do with me or talk. Like any of the guys I see, they're all a little older than me, maybe about like 10 or 15
I want
years.
nothing
but
to do with you, dude.
At most, if we make eye contact, we have to like the nod, but it's not even a wave. We don't even wave. We don't want to talk. We
Do
get
a
it.
little.
That guy's out there drinking a
can you
Miller
at least
High
do
Life and
like a little
smoking
like
to get away
this,
from his
this?
family. Yeah, at most. But again, that guy's in the alley smoking and drinking a beer to get away from his family.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to
Right.
talk to me. He doesn't need
No,
me.
that's fair, that's
part of
fair,
that,
that's fair.
You know? And I don't need him part of that.
I had one neighbor once when I was younger and lived in Chicago, when I lived in the garden apartment. I'd get off from work at the restaurant, and the guy above me was like a general manager at a restaurant downtown. So we were kind of getting home at the same time sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And he would just be outside smoking a cig, not being with his family, and we'd have like small talk. But he always wore a glove to smoke. I think he didn't want his fingers to smell like cigarettes. And I always thought that
like
was
a
a weird
baseball-
trait.
Baseball
Like a
glove?
Leather?
Like a leather glove.
If you're going to do it and be a little classy, it's got to be leather.
It didn't feel classy. It felt weird. I think the reason though is he didn't want his fingers to smell like cigarettes.
No, that's 100% it.
That-
I had
that's-
smoking
yeah,
gloves,
that's
but
exactly what it is.
Mark, and you did too. But it was winter. We specifically had more like winter gloves. But I mean, it does help. Yeah, for sure. It's
Yeah, wearing
yeah,
like a
we would just
wearing
share
like
moments.
a mitten doesn't really work.
yeah.
Mitt-
Anything cotton.
thick. Yeah. You're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah, it's not going to work out in your favor. You might as well just keep the hands out of the picture and just let it dangle. If you don't want your hands to smell, just let it dangle. What topic did I interrupt you from? Oh, the neighbors. That's where we were.
That's essentially it, though. Just we don't communicate, and I appreciate it. You know, that's about it.
Yeah, that's nice. Mark, Cameron, and I shared an alley experience. You tell me
Okay.
how you feel.
Yep.
What was the bar that was just at the other end of my alley? What did that used to be called?
I mean, there was. Are you talking the Iowa bar?
On Armitage. Yeah, the Iowa bar in Armitage. What's that
it's
called?
Jack and Ginger's, of course.
Jack and Ginger's. Yeah.
in
Cameron's
beautiful
right
Wicker
there.
Park,
So-
Chicago.
So we could walk around the block and it would take like 2 minutes to get there, or we could cut through the alley. It wouldn't take 2 minutes to get there.
Sure.
So I'm like, Cameron, let's walk down the alley. All of a sudden, we're on the
okay.
straight check. Mark, this is at like 12 o'clock at night. We're going to go get like a beer just to end the night.
Let me stop you real quick. There's been a lot of moments where I said I think I saw a ghost, and this one,
Too many.
and this
Too
one,
many.
and this one wasn't. But this is up there with one of the highest possibilities of should have been a ghost. Should have
This
been.
was scary, right?
Yeah, go
so,
ahead.
you know, in Chicago, like the alley will intersect with like a row. Like there's two alleys that intersect with the big
Yeah.
alley, you know?
yes.
Like the back
A
of
T
people's
intersection of back
houses.
alleys.
A
if
T
you will.
intersection, right? So we're walking, and it's midnight.
Yeah, it's very
and we hear-
late.
We hear laughter, children laughter.
He's trying to.
Like, are you afraid of the dark? Children laughter.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh no. And then all of a sudden, I swear to God, like a racquetball, not like a normal ball, rolls out through the alley.
I'd say around the size of a softball, possibly red, not a regulation ball of any sport I know.
What do you think, Mark? Are we dealing? One, I'm hoping we deal with ghosts. Otherwise, we're going to get mugged by children.
Yeah, scary Chicago
And I don't want
kids.
that either.
Well, that's what it seems like, yeah.
Kids. But what do you think? Do you think we picked up our pace like we were stealing hardware?
No, Jordan, do you recall? It was just bad parenting. We saw live children who were very small.
It's just kids.
Come and chase their ball, but we were like, oh, for a second.
Oh, thank God it wasn't ghosts, but somebody should watch those
It was
kids.
real spooky. Yeah.
Just bad parenting. Because this was like a weekday, too. It wasn't like weekend fun. It was like Tuesday.
Those kids in our alley last night, it was like going on 10. It was a Thursday. What in the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, but they were teenagers. They weren't like children.
Like young, like 13, 14, like young teenagers, you know?
The youths.
The
Is
worst
it youths?
kind. The worst kind.
Youths. We say that. We say
Youths.
that.
They're
we say
youths. It's the youths. And that's just youths?
Youths,
Just that are bad?
Quick, I do have one news thing. Did you guys see, this is like a week or two ago, but that China had 100% humidity for like a few days
What
in
does
a row?
that mean?
Did you guys see any of those videos?
Doesn't that mean you're in water?
That seems like
It looked
a lot of humidity.
terrible.
Humidity.
People had to humidity. So what that meant essentially was that condensation was continuously building on people's walls, that everything was damp. People were getting electrically shocked from outlets, and worst of all, it was just raining in people's houses to the point that people were sleeping on their bed with umbrellas,
That's crazy.
getting
That's
soaking
crazy.
wet. But that was like in the middle of winter, meaning like it's going to pretty much be like this from now on. That we expect more 100% humidities in the future, China.
Prior to having a kid, I didn't watch the news in the morning, and now I do. And everything seems like it's going to get worse. This is the new norm, and everything sucks.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So cool. Invest in whatever keeps you out of that, China, and we'll invest whatever fireproof suits we need.
I'd like to say an underground storage facility, but the humidity, I think, will seep into there. I think the water is a problem.
I think the flooding would seep into your underground facility. Or are those?
I mean, I'm having enough problems with my goddamn basement. So, if we go a layer under that I can only imagine it's worse.
Yeah, probably. It'll be your watery grave, That's cool. Dying in a watery grave.
That's all I had.
Watery grave.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Have you guys watched the Nickelodeon
documentary?
Oh yeah, watch that big time.
Sure have. Did you know that it's still ongoing, that there's more episodes coming out?
Yep.
Oh, really?
I didn't. I thought I caught the whole thing, but rumors are the next one might be Jeanette McCurdy talking about her thing. But my argument is she has a book. She's making money off it.
It's actually really sad. Like it's it is stunning.
It's super sad. So I will say this. I think no matter how talented your kid is, you just don't let them
leave them
if you
alone.
want to become if you want to be an actor when you get old enough, chances are it's going to be bad for you when you're an adult.
Seems like
it's gonna be just like why would you put your kid through it? Obviously, probably they just have bad parents.
Seems like Amanda Bynes and Drake Bell got it pretty hard from the documentary, at least.
Right.
Yeah. Do you find this to be true? You're Jared Fogle, so you're this guy, the guy that screwed over NSYNC and Backstreet Boys.
Oh, what did you time out? You said Jared. Time out. You said Jared Fogle and Backstreet Boys. You're talking about a notorious pedophile.
Jerry. Yeah. I'm talking about Jared Fogle,
okay,
pedophile, the guy that was in this documentary.
Sure,
not necessarily. Continue. I'm saying people that prey / are pedophiles on teenagers.
Understood.
They all seem to have like an overweight look. Like they have a look, and it's like, why would you trust
someone
your
who
family?
slimmed down? You're essentially saying don't trust anybody who slimmed down with your kids.
No, Jared Fogle slimmed down, but like you saw the guy in this documentary, right? He looks like a chubby 12-year-old.
Dan Snyder.
Yeah.
And the guy that was the manager of the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and all those like boy bands.
Gotcha.
I don't think he like molested him, but he like took all their money. They got the same look. It's like a chubby, a guy that to some extent Harvey Weinstein as well. It's like they gotta look. It's like just don't trust these people.
Don't trust it.
Like don't.
You heard it here first. Don't trust anyone chubby or has recently lost weight. Jordan Jones.
That's not true. You can trust them at normal places of work.
Don't trust
but not
them
in the entertainment
I'm with
industry.
you. That,
Not in the entertainment industry at all.
Okay.
Not in an unregulated industry
That's
for
fair.
sure.
That's fair.
That's all I'm saying. But yeah, it seems like it was real bad stuff. You know who got a little duped though? I don't think Mark Summers knew what he was signing up for.
Oh no! Did you see?
He was wildly jovial.
I mean, did you see his quote where essentially they show him a clip
don't
and he just
put
said,
Mark.
and
Don't put Mark Summers into this whole thing.
I'm defending him. I'm defending him. They show Mark Summers a clip and all he says is, "And this aired on Nickelodeon."
Yeah.
When I was there?
Did he really?
I feel like they.
Yeah, that's Mark Summers'
Yeah.
one
Oh
quote
my
from the whole
God.
documentary.
He's
This
in there
aired?
for like 3 minutes. He's like, hey, I feel like they're like, what was Double Dare like? He's like, I had a blast. I worked there for 7 years. And then they showed him a clip of like weird
foot
some
stuff.
weird. He's like, Jesus, man, what are you trying to do? What's this have to do with Double Dare?
In Mark Summers' defense, I feel like that was like, I don't know, 10 years maybe past his hosting stuff. I don't know. I mean, that was like early 2000. There was kind of Mark in our generation of like Nickelodeon that essentially is the problem,
Damn, that's crazy.
right?
Yeah, it seems like nothing but bad stuff.
Yeah,
Can't wait
everything
for
we
the next
grew up
episode.
with. Yeah.
Sad.
Well, can't wait to see that when it comes out again, though. It's very.
I did have
you
a thought
see,
about this.
um,
No, never mind. I won't say it. I shouldn't say it. Shouldn't make jokes of this situation.
Shit.
What do you think Mickey Rooney would say?
No,
if he
the
saw it?
guy,
He's like,
the
"That's
guys from,
it?"
the guys from,
I don't know.
shit. What's that show?
You need more description.
Which show?
Nickelodeon?
Like a Nickelodeon show?
No,
Pete and Pete.
no,
I need
Keenan Kel?
significantly more description than that show.
no. I know.
Was it a kid's show?
Fuck.
Kid show, adult show, sitcom, cartoon, live
Boy
action.
Meets World.
Okay.
Kids show, live action. Hey, surprisingly,
No, I'm
surprisingly network. It was a network show. I always thought that was like a Disney original.
Oh, was it
It was
not?
like a TJF show.
Oh.
It's network. Yeah, doesn't it? I just saw it mostly
I
in reruns.
assumed that was Disney just because I think it now plays on Disney. I think they
Yeah,
have the
it was
rights
That's
like
to
probably
it,
right.
but-
Yeah.
I looked it up because I'm like, there's no way this is it's network TJF.
So, Mark, your question is, were there problems there? Yeah, probably.
It seems like the bigger problems were with the Nickelodeon shows because of this one
True.
CD character.
But I
But I'm
bet
sure
there-
that in general,
I
again,
bet
blanket
there's
statement.
gonna be another, like sitcom with Disney shows.
You're saying like another reveal.
Yeah, I think so.
situation, Another
I think so.
documentary.
I think in general the working conditions for kids is horrible, but it seems like this one has their Harvey Weinstein for kids.
I think
shows.
that's the bigger thing that people have been talking about Dan Schneider for years. The Nickelodeon's had this huge villain that
Yeah.
like I don't know if well funny enough
That might be right.
Dan Schneider seems
I
bad, but
already-
it seems like they hired a bunch of
I already know the answer
people
for this.
like sex offenders.
Right
which
before
is
Dan
really
Schneider,
bad.
there's a documentary called The Orange Years on Hulu that talks about the lady that essentially
the
built up
Orange
90s
Years.
Nick.
Is that right?
Yep, it's actually a very good documentary. But guess what? She went to Disney right after that. So when Dan Schneider took over, she went to Disney to make
Who did?
whoever the main the head executive of Nickelodeon before Dan
Damn,
Schneider.
okay.
Essentially built up like the Hey Dude, the
Yep,
Guardians of the
yep.
Hidden Temple
Yep.
type
Yeah,
of shows
yeah,
we liked.
understood.
She moved to Disney, and then Dan Schneider took over. So I actually kind of vaguely know that story, but it seems like she was above board. Seems like she was fine.
Oh my.
That's
God.
good.
Yeah.
So the question I have to you from that, and I guess
Wow.
spoiler alerts if we haven't already said it.
Mhm.
Drake Bell is very honest about how bad his situation was.
Yeah.
But they didn't really bring up like what he did.
Oh well.
And it's like kind of a weird pass
Well,
to
Yeah,
not
well,
talk about that
what we're
more.
talking about, he did get in trouble for talking to a minor.
Grooming. He was like, grooming is the word,
They-
and I believe that just means
They do bring it up in the thing, and he does say like, "I take responsibility for that." But what he all
For what?
What he does
He
say,
talked
He didn't
to a
say it.
14-year-old, and he also,
Yeah.
I mean,
They were a little ambiguous about it though in the documentary, where they made it kind of seem like Drake Bell was duped and not the 14-year-old. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a little.
Yeah.
To me, I have a little issue with that. If you're going to do this tell-all, you gave him a wild pass. On a side note, for next episode, let's all do some research into what's going on with Diddy. I haven't really caught up on that too much.
Holy shit!
It seems like it's bad
Did
stuff.
Did he do? Yeah.
Sounds like Diddy
it's ranging from sex trafficking to murder, so it's not good for Diddy.
He fled. Has he been caught yet? I haven't.
I've heard that Usher fled. I heard that Dre fled. I've heard that a lot of people in the community connected to him are fleeing.
If all these other people are fleeing, that's a bad look.
Yeah, that ain't good. I don't know too much on it, other than just TikTok clips here and there, but it's not looking good. It looks like he killed people and raped people a lot and sex trafficked.
Cameron Drake.
Bummer.
Looks like he did a lot of real bad things, and then there's a lot of implications.
So out of all the musicians, and this sounds
also worse
egregious.
though, like there's a lot of implications with Usher and then Bieber as well.
Oh, Bieber.
Well, I don't feel like people talk about Bieber's manager, whatever his name was. Got
Scooter
a weird
Braun.
name, right? Scooter Braun. Yeah, they always talk about him, but Usher has, up until now, always been left out of the equation for. I guess grooming's not the right word. That seems to have sexual connotation, but
finding him and training him.
I think
taking
you're right,
a kid
though.
out of Canada and making Bieber.
Yeah,
it's a little weird. Hell of a halftime show, though, right? What can we say about it?
Oh yeah, like a few months ago.
Yeah,
a few months ago, nothing but
what
props.
an
I was like, look at
entertainer.
him. He's singing, he's dancing, he's doing the whole thing. He's not lip syncing.
Well, Usher was also a childhood star. He's been famous since he's 15, and it's just.
I mean, that's part of it. Also, like he got adopted by Diddy at the age of 15 to live in his manor as some sort of
cure them. Cure. Play. What do you say when you play the next song? Cue up. Have you seen my childhood? I feel like you're rinsing, repeating this shit. Not necessarily that egregious, but it's no good. No good. We can lose Diddy's music, but losing Usher's.
Oh yeah, it won't
hard.
affect me at all. In fact, the only thing I really want is
I can lose it all.
no. Yeah, I can really lose all Diddy's music, but I would like to
Cameron
keep some
Drake.
of
I
Usher's
can lose
hits.
it all. It's fine. Bye.
There's one Diddy song I really like that I don't think
Okay.
anybody does.
God damn it.
So it's for the Godzilla soundtrack.
Oh, you've been talking
Right,
about this.
the 1990 sign.
You've been talking
they
about this for
sampled-
years. Yeah,
They sample Led Zeppelin's Kashmir. It's called "Come With Me." I love that song. You can't get it because you can't get it digitally because I think Led Zeppelin's like, "Hey, that's not cool, guys."
Hey, that's
we didn't say
Jordan.
don't-
You're right. That's a banger.
It's
a
I love that song.
banger,
The
dude.
rest can get the fuck
But
out
you
of
can't
here.
find it anywhere. Can't find it.
No, and I'll be missing you.
Yeah, but that's that's not. I mean, that's just that's
Jordan's right. That's a
Sting
banger.
song. It's a cover. It's different though.
It's two bangers. The rest can get the fuck
Bye.
out of here. Maybe more money, more problems. Yeah.
Well, we're coming up on an hour
Well-
now. Should we try to wrap it up? Let us know out there though some of your favorite Diddy songs. Something we might be forgetting because, honestly, I could let Diddy slide away and just not miss any of his songs.
I think everybody's fine with that. It's probably just. Oh, you know what's gonna be interesting when they make the Diddy documentary. Just this last thought, and I'm sure this isn't original, but this is it's coming to me naturally.
Sure.
The making the band show with him, they're gonna scour those tapes, and there's gonna be so much be like bang, 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 like ding, ding. There's gonna be so much bad shit in that show.
Yeah, you're right.
It's gonna be awful. Oh, that's gonna be just shooting fish in a barrel, I assume.
Well, thanks for listening to Urban Hermit for this week. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe to our favorite podcast app, rate, review. If you want more content, check out Cool Classics Podcast. I'm not crazy. And until then, we'll check you on the next one. Bye.
Bye. Bye.